Hey there, Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising. This is your reading for that full moon in Capricorn that is happening. Oh my God, I don't know what is happening. Hold on, let me find out. It is vacation brain. Okay, so July 3rd of 2023. It's happening at 11 degrees and 18 minutes, but I'm sure you'd like to know what time. I would like to know what time it is happening. I cannot read the small printing, so I will put it in the description box below. All right, you'll have to check the time zone calculator to see where it's happening in your sign anyway. So this is interesting. This transformation card here has shown up in the reverse position. Okay, so you have heart ease, compassion. Tread a little more tenderly. I feel like this is compassion for yourself, but let's get the cards here and see what's going on for you, and we'll go from there. So the area of what's been kind of pulling your energy down, we have the fox. And so the fox is listening to its spirit guide team in order to know which next clever move to make. And so the question becomes, are you spending enough time? Well, it becomes really important based on these cards that just showed up. Are you spending enough time with your spirit guide team, allowing yourself to really get the clarity from within? Everything you need to know is inside of you, and you've been feeling maybe a little unlucky in some ways because the struggle has been the card of luck here. Overall energy is the card of home. And so there's something in the home space. And so there's a need to, I want to say, create the energy in your home that allows you to feel safe and secure there, whatever that means, because the key to the situation being this tree here, the tree represents the family roots. And so there is some definite energy around the homescape in your life, what feels like home, what feels comfortable and easy for you, because the outcome card here is the mice. And so in the house of the mice is where we are finding this fox. The fox is trying to receive the information, the guidance it needs through the spirit guide team. And in the heart space, we have the star card, this clarity. And so there is something going on. And this full moon, when it shines its light on you, so at 11 degrees, that part of so there's 30 degrees in each sign, and at from 10 degrees to 19 degrees, that is the part we are starting to integrate. We are starting to learn skills that we can really use. How we're practicing. It's kind of like the apprentice energy of really trying to figure out how to do it. And it's a very early degree. And so this full moon was seeded back in 2016, in December of 2016. And so think back to December of 2016 and what your goals and your dreams and your hopes were. And here we have this really long cycle to get to where we are right now. And so it may have seemed like it's taken a long time to get here. 2020 slowed the whole freaking world down, right? But here in this energy, because when we had that would have probably been an eclipse. No, it wouldn't have been an eclipse. Okay, so that energy right there has been trying to listen to your spirit guide team to figure out what it is that you need, what kind of clarity do you need in order to move things forward in the direction you want to go. So the North Node at that time was also in an earth sign, so it was trining this energy of reorganization in order to bring forward. And so I think there's something you've been trying to seek where the happiness is here, and here you have balancing the emotions. And so the key to this, well, the key is the tree, but here the way you transform this situation, remember that transformation card showed up, right? The way to really transform this energy is to anchor down into, see how she's dancing? To anchor down into what brings you joy. And allowing yourself to move forward very slowly. The action to take is the card of the ship, but she's moving forward, using her intuition, following the guidance from within, making her way through the weeds and the reeds, right? And so it does feel like there's a lot going on. And so this is kind of like you can't just race off in the direction you want to go, but there's a need to take your time about it and to really get into connection with who you are in order to bring this energy in. But you have the love charm. For those of you who are single and looking, this is about you falling in love with yourself and having compassion for yourself and treating and nurturing yourself well so that you have that energy field around you, so that that is what you are drawing and attracting into your life. For those of you who are currently in a relationship that's struggling, could be struggling because of finances, it could be struggling because of a loyalty issue, because here in the energy of resources, we have this friendship card of the dog of loyalty. There might just be a need to really reconnect with one another. And this kindness and this compassion, if you or your partner have been struggling and have made choices that have been difficult for the other to take to deal with, and it doesn't matter, I'm not talking about cheating, it could be that, but it could be many things, right? Job changes, any kind of choice or decision that affects the nature of your relationship, how much time you get to spend together, what it is that you do together. You have the love charm, and it says attract a lover, soulmate, or a life partner. And so this feels like if you're currently partnered, this would be about remembering what it was that drew you and attracted you together in the first place. And reconnecting on, I would say, a friendship level first, right? When we partner up with somebody, there has to be there's often physical attraction, right? But there's also the connection heart to heart, that comes through conversation, that comes through the knowingness of one another. And over the last 6 years, you may have drifted apart for a variety of reasons, and there might be a need to find that reconnection again. So whether this is within your partnership or if you are currently single, this would be reconnecting with your soul of who you are and what is of value to you and where you feel at home and comfortable, so that you can attract and draw into your life a partner that has that same, you always draw and attract the partner that has the same energetic signature. That is a given. And so the question is where is yours? And so when we have this anxiety-inducing energy down here in the energy of the anchor, but in the anchor here, it shows you should be dancing with joy. It's how you're going to transform this situation. And so it is going to be through listening to that little voice inside of you, understanding that the voice inside of you that is non-judgmental, the voice inside of you that is loving, kind, and compassionate, that is the voice of your higher self. The voices inside of you that are scared, fearful, critical, harsh, controlling, telling you no, 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 those are the voices that were implanted into your system as a child. And so you have Chiron moving through your sign right now, helping you to work through these issues, to release and let go of some of the negative imprinting that happened during childhood, those first 7 years, from womb to like 7, 8 years old. There's a lot of imprinting that goes on there. And once we become adults, we have to take responsibility for our own life. And spending thousands of dollars in therapy, complaining about your parents, is really doesn't help you to heal, but it certainly lines the pocketbook of the therapist. And so if that is your situation, you need a different therapist. Not all therapists do that, but some of them encourage you to continue to be the victim and to continue to cry and complain about what happened to you because it benefits their pocketbook. They may not know that's what they're doing. I hope they don't. But mostly, if you really want to progress, it would be about understanding that your parents were also imprinted, and a lot of the crap that our parents did to us was crap that was done to them, and they didn't know better. And so here you break the chains. Here you step out of that energy. Here, with this full moon, you release and let go of. So Capricorn energy is the father of the zodiac. It is also about karma It is about timing. And so it is time to break the chains, to create your own new year in your life, right? New Year's happens during Capricorn season. It is about releasing and letting go of the old so that new energy can come in. And right now, over the next few years, we're doing a lot of that. And you have an opportunity here to really release and to let go of the things that are holding you back. And so there is, with compassion for yourself, that the choices that you make as a parent probably reflected the choices your parents made, which reflected the choices their parents made. And so we don't always get it right. And if your children are upset with you or whatever, then your children also need to be doing their own work, because we all are just doing the best we can. So here you have release your blocks. Where you are not feeling lucky is because of the voices inside of your head. When you say, I never have, I always get this crap, life sucks. When you say things like that, you are making a declaration to the universe that your life sucks. And the universe goes, oh, okay, well, we can make your life suck. And I really want to encourage you not to do that. So we look for the joy, we look for the happiness. So here, where you were supposed to be seeking information, the joy, the happiness, that is going to take some time. But as you make your way through the weeds of your life, if you're willing to release and let go of the anger and the resentment, you're a fiery sign, right? And anger and resentment come up so easily. And instead, if you pour emotional, we're in Cancer season, it's a really great time to pour kindness and compassion, the emotion of that healing water over the anger and the resentment, and allow some things to flame out. That we don't need to carry this anymore. We can release it, we can let it go for permanent. So that we are creating space for joy and happiness to seep in. And it is going to be a slow and steady progress. And I'm going to guess that you've been working on this since 2016. I also find it interesting just how here in the United States and England, and actually really saw it flaring up all around the world. 2016 had some very volatile, divisionist energy. You saw it politically, but you also saw it happening within families and friends, and there was a lot of that energy happening. And so it is time to create the healing energy over that, to release that, to let it go, to start. What is it you want, right? How do you want to feel? And practice feeling that way. You're in the energy of practice with this 11 degrees. Practice, even if it's for just a moment or two, what does real joy and happiness would feel like in the heart? And keep moving in that direction. And when something comes up, some opportunity or some trigger or whatever, use for your compass of which way to go to find your way through is what makes your heart light up. What feels good there? And I know some of you are going to say, well, it feels good to tell somebody off. And I'm not going to disagree with that. Really not. But do you still feel that way about it 2 days later? If you do, then you needed to do that. If you don't, then you may need to revisit the issue with a little less emotion and try to bring in the compassion, the kindness. And if it's like with a person on the road or someone at the drive-through, but you can't revisit it, then you need to have kindness and compassion for yourself. You're really stressed out. You need to forgive yourself and plan to do better. And so planning requires a strategy, the fox, for handling triggering situations, for handling those bad days, for handling those moments. And so consider what needs to be done for you. A really simple thing is if you're stressed out and you know it, you can put your bracelet on the other arm, just as a reminder that you're trying to change your energy. And so if you're sitting there in the drive-thru and it seems like it's taken forever and you're like, ugh, just do this. Allow it to calm you because you've taken back your own power and control. That's what this feels like. So have compassion for yourself. You're not going to get it right every time. If you did, you wouldn't need to be here. And no one else is going to get it right every time either. And so the space and the grace that you create for yourself makes it easier to create it for others. It's quite the journey. All right, guys. Make sure that with this full moon that you take action steps towards your dreams, your goals. And that would be about releasing the blocks, the lower negative self-talk, the way that you're harshly critical of yourself or your abilities. And if you catch yourself saying you can't, recognize that you can say, never mind, I don't mean that. Reword it in a way that's positive and affirming. So, I can't do computer stuff. You say that, you probably won't. But if you say, I am developing my computer skills every day, that changes that energy. So look for ways to do things like that in your life. Right? Guys, take good care. I mean that. I'll see you back here next week.